Hey guys, this is David Manna and we are here in Burleigh Heads on the Gold Coast, and we're excited to have this interview with the one and only Oscar Cullinan. Welcome on to our Journal Mag channel.
How are you, buddy? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Okay, so we're really excited to just have a chat with Oscar because this is a gentleman who's achieved a lot in our industry as a businessman, a leader and a creative. Two-time Australian Hairdresser of the Year winner. And he is about to take the Oscar brand to a whole new level in the future. So, to start, tell us about the Oscar culture and how it's evolved over the years.
Well, the Oscar culture is so broad and it's so diverse, and yes, it's so tight and it's so ironclad. Our business is all about people, and culture is driven through leaders, and people are drawn to those leaders, and with that comes I guess a belief system of how things should be done or how we want things done. And the Oscar culture is about shared belief systems that people buy into, because at the essence of it and at the root of it, it's about what we believe is the right way of doing stuff in our industry here, which is a wonderful industry of hairdressing. Give me
an example of some of those belief systems. Maybe give me one that you can sort of focus on and drill down a bit into.
Well, training to us is it's the cornerstone of what we do. Without skilled people, you don't have any. You've got absolutely nothing. You've just got a bunch of hairdressers working in a space.
Correct.
All right. So training is the core principle, but not just skills training, people training.
Okay, very good.
And I think a lot of people get confused on training. You know, we hire for attitude, we train for skill. Hire for attitude,
I love that.
For skill.
I love that. Yeah, because you can always train someone in their craft, but it's very hard to train someone in their attitude, right? And I love that philosophy. All right, so tell me more about the business model that is Oscar.
Well, the Oscar has evolved into this I suppose, freight train that started off almost 30 years ago, David, by the way.
30 years ago?
Yeah,
wow.
7. It's going to be 30 years.
Got to shake your hand on that
Listen,
one.
I started when I was 6, I started young. So,
okay, so you're only 36 years old?
Yeah, I had a little bit of a hard life, but that's okay.
You're about 10 years older than me then, are you?
So, the Salons started as a one salon operation where I went in and turned the same key every day for 7 years. It was a one salon operation, and then it grew into 3 salons in Brisbane. It started, and then it grew to I won Australian Heads of the Year. We opened up on the Gold Coast. Then we opened up in Sydney. And we opened up in Melbourne. So interestingly, I started off hairdressing in Melbourne when I arrived in Australia with long hair down here, sort of backpacking Irish guy. And then I sort of went full circle. So I worked in Melbourne, I worked in Sydney, and then I worked teaching hairdressing in Brisbane. And so I guess I sort of knew every market that I was delving into. Before I actually even went into it. And I think that has been really, really important, particularly with us within Sydney and Melbourne markets. I pretty much know every nook and cranny in Melbourne.
So we're all about, in this era of social media and what's going on in the different forms of communication lines that are out there, collaboration, right? So how important is it for someone like you as a leader and as a business owner of multiple chains of salons, one chain of salon, but multiple salons rather. There's one group, salon group. How important is it for you to collaborate with like-minded brands, for example, Shoe Imera, which is a beautiful boutique brand from Japan. So tell me about that relationship and how that has come about.
Yeah, listen, I mean, Shoe Imera is an iconic brand I was watching what Shoe Imera were doing in makeup 15 years ago. When they launched in Australia, we said we want our hair care. It's a very bespoke brand. It's guests that use the product and engage with the product really buy it, they will sort of move heaven on earth to get it.
Wow.
So it's something that we sort of champion within our stores, with selected markets, with demographic groups that come into our salons.
Yep.
So it's not no one product is for everybody.
Yeah.
No shoe fits all. But it's an amazing product that has got some amazing styling products. It's beautifully packaged. It's very Japanese. It's very now. It's an amazing part of what the Oscar brand offers.
Brilliant. Now, you and I talk from time to time, and in relation to what's happening now, where the future of Oscar is going. You have sometimes described it as the perfect storm. Yeah. Okay, tell me more about what you meant by that.
Perfect storm is change. Perfect storm is when lots of different forces come together to create change in an industry, in a community, with development. It could be high rises, it could be town planning, whatever. With hairdressing, it can be Instagram.
Yep.
It can be Amazon retail spaces.
Sure.
There is so much happening, and hairdressing is moving so much. Education is doing so much online. I was watching one of my kids, one of the apprentices, checking out how to do a fade on her phone the other day.
Yep,
just
right.
on YouTube, just how you do a fade. Now,
yep.
The consumer now is ever more demanding, and it is up to us to continue to raise the bar.
Yes.
Because so they should.
Yep.
Cars are changing. Range Rovers.
Yes.
Lamborghinis, Teslas, Toyotas.
Yep.
Every car is changing now.
Yep.
That quickly.
Yep. Yep.
Because the consumer wants something different all the time.
Correct.
Hair is that. So with the hair as a visual on a woman's head or a man's head, that is continually evolving. But more importantly, the service offering, the landscape, the salon fit out, the computer system you're using, your Instagram account, your website,
yep.
all of the components, the add-ons, the products that you're aligned with, the shoe and mirrors, etc. Those the lighteners you use, the bonders you use, all of those things, the hair wefts you use.
Yep.
It's not simple anymore.
No.
There's a lot of magic happening for one to dominate the space.
It's a constant evolution, isn't it, Oscar?
Wow, otherwise it's boring.
It
I mean,
does.
you've got to be able to change sometimes, and you've got to be ahead of the curve. There are certain times when I have held back on being ahead of the curve.
Yep.
Because I'm not really sure what's around the corner.
Yes.
But right now I know what's around the corner.
Yep.
And what's around the corner for Oscar is big stuff.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
We hope you guys really enjoyed this chat to one of the industry's true pioneers and leaders. And we look forward to seeing what's next and what's in the future, for Oscar.
We've seen a lot of us at the journal, dude.
Oh, we love that.
We love you, man.
God bless you, man. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Bye.